How's it going? Decoy here with another Warframe beginner guide video. So you just got to Fortuna and you've been through Cetus, or at least you've made some progress at Cetus. So if you kind of understand that, this is going to feel familiar but also a little bit more confusing. So let's keep this simple and focus on what actually matters. So we're going to go right over to Venus. We're going to pick Fortuna. I guess we'll pick number 1, busy. So Fortuna looks like a lot at first, you know, compared to Cetus, where you're walking through a village. There's a lot more happening, you know, in the background. But just like Cetus, you've got a hub, you know, other players around. It's an open world, and you've got bounties. So bounties will be over here. You know, go to bounties, and then you've got a bunch of different bounties. Your tier 1, your tier 2, your tier 3, your tier 4, and so on. Just like Cetus. And then, you know, what kind of rewards are you getting? You're going to get these as rewards. Same thing for each thing. That'll be mainly what you're doing. You know, start with those lower levels, work your way up just to get confident. However, there's kind of a big difference. So in Fortuna and Orb Valis, which is the open world, fishing and mining actually matter. You might have skipped those in Cetus just because the bounties give you way more standing, whereas here you actually get rewarded for mining and fishing, and you get a lot more, you get more standing. It's kind of a lot more important for progression anyway, but actually here they're kind of almost on the same level as bounties. So if you feel like bounties are slow or you feel like you're stuck, you can go fishing and mining. Now, instead of running all over trying to remember where the vendors are, once you unlock them, just go to your fast travel. Utico, that's, if I'm saying that name right, that's like you're standing in your bounties. Rudzud, it's kick guns, and then, you know, any kind of companion related little things. The business, this is all your fishing and hunting and capturing gear. Mining gear. Ticker, this is different. Free citizens from debt bondage. That's like a, that's kind of a, I'll show you that briefly here. Legs, this is for MOAs. K-drives, which is the little hoverboard. If you've seen people have that and you're like, what is that? This is where you get them. And then nightcap is how you can get some decorations and some other things. However, I'm going to show you Ticker real quick just because Ticker is different. If you go to purchase debt bonds, you see where it says contains the different kind of bonds. So those are important for ranking up your standing. If you eventually get a railjack, you can hire crew members here. You can also trade your bonds for standing. So there's a lot, like I did 68 of those and I'm getting 20,000. I don't need them right now to do that, but they do have, there's a lot of ways to get standing, but again, you're at the beginning. I just want you to know that it exists. I will also show you, because this person is new, Nightcap. This might be a mission or quest you have to do, but this is where you get some weapons. You get some other things. You get, there's a Warframe Noko in here, and then a few other things in here as well. So just, it all exists. You're not trying to do it, you know, right away, but that's mainly, you're going to be doing those bounties at the beginning, but just in general. And kind of the difference is, instead of going through a gate, you go up a elevator. And then you're, you know, you're out in here. And instead of a day and night cycle, it's a cold and heat cycle. I couldn't tell you the main huge difference. It's not like you're on fire and hurting during one or the other. There are certain animals for capturing that spawn at different times. And there isn't night and day. There's not like a specified nighttime quests like the Eidolons in on Cetus on Earth. And then, you know, you do your bounty, you go back inside, you know, rinse and repeat, or you come out and do mining and fishing, rinse and repeat. So I will just say this, Cetus, if you understand Cetus, this isn't going to be like so overwhelming in terms of like what you're supposed to do. There's just a lot more content on Fortuna. There's just more going on. Now, just like Cetus has a secret door, there is a secret door over here. That's more like endgame Fortuna. I'm not going to go into detail about it. I just want you to know that it's there. So once you upgrade your Voxelaris, you'll either hear more about it lore-wise, or eventually you'll max rank, and then I think it's actually before max rank, you're actually directed over there anyway, but as you progress, you'll learn more about that door. So, I'm going to just show you real quick. Again, we'll pick a bounty. I'm not going to do the whole bounty, I just want to show you.
Roki was wondering if you'd help her out. The vent poppers are short on parts. Would you mind nicking some K-drive bits from the Corpus?
So we're out here. I'm going to use my arc wing to travel. You can use the little blink pads right here to travel, but so reach the area, which is over here. Remember, you don't want to go, you're not trying to go all over the map and kill everything. I will say this, Fortuna is a little bit better about, where your objectives are, because sometimes like this, they're in buildings, so.
You're nearing a secure area. Watch out for patrols and security measures. The enemy will destroy the data if they detect you.
Oh no. Bonus objective is to not trigger the alarm. I didn't trigger the alarm. I don't know how, but...
Alert level dropping to green.
And there we go. So, I got 122 standing. But I didn't complete the bounty, and we're not going to complete the bounty. So if you got to Fortuna, your goal is bounties, mining or fishing when needed, and building that standing up. And of course, there'll be materials, things that you need to turn in order to continue to advance. And you have your daily standing cap, so you can't just come here for 8 hours and grind out all levels. That's just a reminder. There are some quick mistakes to avoid. I just mentioned it, trying to do everything at once. Ignoring mining and fishing completely. It really is a great way to get standing, and there are parts that you need from fishing in order to rank up. And then jumping into higher level bounties too early. So even if you felt like you could really do well in Cetus on some of those higher level bounties, again, Fortuna, the enemies are already default higher level. They do a little bit more damage. They're also Corpus units, so they're going to deal damage to your shields, and they have shields. They're a little stronger than what you find on the star chart. So just wanted to point those out. Again, bounty's right there, right at her. There's a lot of people here, which is a good thing. Hello, gentlemen. Yep, you continue to work. Just do your thing. There's a whole thing about all of that. So, Fortuna looks more complicated than it is. You already got that understanding of Cetus. You're good to go here. You'll get through this area pretty easily. If you're still working through the early game, I've got more beginner guides that break a lot more down, so go check them out. There might be information in my Cetus videos that apply to Fortuna that obviously I'm not going to go over a second time. Cetus is the first open world. That's why I go over it there. If you want me to explain some more in-depth stuff on Fortuna, let me know, and I can do that. I also have other beginner guides just in general, talking about the star chart, talking about other ways to earn things. So go ahead and go check them out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.